All right, cheers and welcome to all of my good trading friends out there. It doesn't matter if you made money this week. It doesn't matter if you lost money, because if you're watching this video right now, that means you're still alive. And you have found yet another way to survive in this wacky business that we call trading. And for that, I gotta salute you. And even if you don't trade at all, you're just browsing the internets right now and you stumbled across this video, you're alive too. So I got to salute you for that. So we're now on Happy Hour, episode number 44, where I answer all of your stock market related questions. As always, if you guys have some questions you'd like to send my way, support@thelincolnlist.com is the email. And even if I don't feature them on any of the upcoming episodes, I'll at least get back to you and answer your question. And if you do have issues with your personal trading, you're looking for a community where you can grow and take your business to the next level, trade with us live each day right here in our live trade room. So we've got a whole good set of questions that we're going to talk about today. I think it's going to help all of you in the future. So let's just jump right in here with question number one. So question number one is, I know there are a lot of bad habits and things a trader can do, but as a new trader just starting out, what is the worst thing you can do? If you had only one thing you could avoid, what would that one thing be? Now, I'm going to answer this one a lot like I answered the question, I think it was a couple happy hours ago, about what was the biggest mistake I ever made as a trader. And how I answered that was I said I had made so many mistakes, spanned over such a long period of time, that it's hard for me to go back and pinpoint one and go, that right there, that was the kicker, that's the one. And it's the same way here. There are so many bad things that you can do. And there are so many bad habits that you can develop while trading that it's impossible to just pinpoint one and go, this is the one thing you need to avoid. However, I want to answer it this way, and I want to give everybody that's watching one very important recommendation that I think is an absolute must in today's market environment, and especially with the resources that are available for you. I think every single person who is new or is struggling to try to get to that next level, you must, and I say must, get yourself a mentor and educate yourself. Now, whether that be me, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in the service business, but whether that be me, that be a friend or somebody that you know and trust, or it's another trader, it is something that you must do, and I tell you why. Because a lot of people have a very big misunderstanding about services because they feel they're alert services. And if somebody's selling you something like that, then perhaps that's not the right way to do it, because it's not about alerts. You're never going to be able to piggyback and emulate another trader and get the same types of results they will, regardless of what they're pitching or what they're selling. In fact, if you can find a trader and follow them T for T and make the exact same amount of money that they can and follow their strategy, get the same entries, get the same exits, you can do that for 30 days. I will personally write you a check for $1 million, because I guarantee you that will never happen. What you're really there for is to learn the mental aspect of trading. Because I'm going to tell you right now, some people may disagree with me, but I wholeheartedly believe this, that within a 30-day period of time, I can teach you how to read a chart, draw a support and resistance line, understand what VWAP is, read candlesticks, know what a breakout, a breakdown is, and all of that good stuff. I can show you how to find hot stocks. So if you just walked right off the street, you can't even spell the word stock, I can still show you in 30 days how you can become a pro chart reader and draw lines all over the place and talk mad skills with just about anybody. However, as we all know, all of us who have ever taken a trade, the real part is how we handle ourselves after we take a trade. Now, you'll hear me often say there are three components to a trade: idea, execution, and management. Those first two, idea, execution, those are a piece of cake. We all can figure that out. I mean, hell, it's just red and green lines on a chart. I mean, this is a piece of cake. The hard part is when you get into the trade, what are you supposed to do? And you guys out there that are trading, you know what I'm talking about. When do you sell your stock? When do you capitulate and do you take a loss? I mean, how many times have we been in a trade where we bought a stock and we sold it, we felt really good about it, and then it kept going up and we leave all that money on the table? How many times do we have a stock that we were up a lot on and decided not to take the money and it turned around and became a loss? How many times have we had a loss and we stared at that loss and said, well, I'm going to hold on to it because I don't want the loss, and it turned around and it became worse than we ever thought? How many stocks have gone up farther than we thought? How many stocks have gone down farther than we thought? I mean, how many times have we taken a trade and within 30 to 40 seconds thought we were the stupidest person on earth and we should have never taken the trade, or we start self-doubting ourselves and our abilities? That, guys, that is what's going to make you a successful trader. And when I say finding that mentor, that's what we're all here for, is to teach you that part of the business. Because I understand what it's like to be in your shoes if you're struggling, because you've heard my story before. I know what it feels like to work your ass off and to think you understand something and then to be humbled by the market. I know what it feels like to go home every single day of the week feeling like the most ignorant, stupid person on the planet Earth over their decisions. I know what it's like to feel like the only human being that cannot make money when something appears to be so easy. I know what that feels like. And when you're in a community, not only is it great for, holding your hand and keeping you glued together through those tough times, it's a great place to talk to people because, again, I understand if you guys have a significant other out there, you know what it's like. If they don't know anything about trading, it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't know what we do for a living how stressful this can be, how pissed off, how emotional, how frustrating it can be. And it's just not like a regular job, so it's difficult. And it helps to have a community of people. So when you're sitting there and you're saying, hey man, I feel dumb. I know what it feels like to feel stupid. I know what it feels like to be humiliated. I know. I mean, I've been there. I know exactly what it's like, and I know exactly what it's like to turn around. So in brief there, after I got it going on my rant, I would say educate. But don't educate because you're interested in piggybacking off of somebody's alerts. Educate yourself and learn. Learn from that community about what does it take to live the lifestyle of a trader? What does it take to be a successful trader? What does it take up here? What kind of mental conditioning do you need to have to get you to that next level? Because that's what's going to do it for you, and that's what you need. So let's move on to question number 2. Okay, question number 2. About behavior. You were talking about a stock's behavior in the hot stocks video. What did you mean by that? Okay, I think it was a couple days ago I did a video about how do you find hot stocks. And one of the things that I mentioned during that video was the benefits of trading the same stocks over and over again, the same ticker names. And during that conversation, what I mentioned is you get a chance to learn a stock's behavior. It may seem funny, but I think everybody who's traded a stock as well will agree with me on this. Every stock is like a person, because people trade stocks. Often stocks act like people. They have emotional, they have behavior, they have these nuances, and you have to trade them for a little while to understand it. And what I mean by that is if you're trading, let's say it's the exact same chart setup, that you're trading. If that chart is on Apple, let's say it's a breakout chart, you trade that on Apple, it looks identical. You trade it on Apple, you trade it on Tesla. It's going to be two different animals. It's going to be different. Apple is a smoother moving stock. What I mean by that, it's tighter in its formation. It's a little more consistent with its breakouts. It doesn't have parabolic moves very often. It's more of a grinder stock. Whereas Tesla, that move on the breakout could be 50 cents. It could be $18. You're not going to get that out of Apple. So it's the same exact chart. It's the behavior. And very much so like Tesla, it not only could it go up $18 in a candle, the next candle, it may give all of that back and then some, because that's how Tesla behaves. That's how stocks like Nvidia behave. So once you start to learn how they behave, you will understand more about how to trade them, because it's not all just about technical analysis. A lot of what we do is about gut feeling, about understanding this is the most likely scenario that's going to happen. And when you trade that same stock over and over again, you will soon realize that it stalls out at a certain number. Just even if you don't even know what charts are, you just look at a chart, you'll see for some reason this thing doesn't go over $300 ever. Every time it does, it goes back down. It does that like 1,900 times over the last week. What does that tell you as a trader? Short the damn thing when it goes up there. You don't buy that breakout because it never holds. That's no guarantee it'll win. But that's what I mean, is that every single stock has a different behavior. And one of the advantages of trading the same stock over and over again is you just know it. You can go to sleep. It's like it's you're a lover. You just learn to love that thing. You learn to love it for all the good and bad. You know the nuances of it, and you'll be able to make a lot more money. So that's what I meant about stocks and their behavior. Okay, last question of the day. Brokers. Broker question. Lucky us. Hello, Doug. What are the best? Sorry, I couldn't get that out. It's been a long day. What are the best platforms to start trading with? Okay, I think what this is asking is what kind of broker, since the top was brokers and then the bottom you have platforms, because there are specific platforms that you can use for just charts only that will be connected to your broker that will actually issue, initiate your order. But since it's titled brokers, I think that's what you're meaning. It's another hard question because it's difficult to say, well, what are you looking for? But I can give you a great answer. And I think if you're looking at retail brokerage and you just want to open a broker and you want to trade stocks, the very best broker I think you can get involved with right now is Interactive Brokers, often called IB, especially if you're going to be a trader with frequency, like a day trader, or you're going to do lots of trades. And the reason for that is because of the low cost and commissions that they have. So when you're trading a lot, the commissions are very, very important to you because number one, commissions should always be important to everyone because number one, it'll allow you to make more profit on a smaller move. And if you're doing a lot of tickets, people like us that day trade, there's been times you spend a few $1,000s a month in just trade commissions, and that can be, that's profit. I mean, it's profit that you could have in your pocket, no need to spend it. Now, depending on the amount of money that you have, sometimes it's better to go with a bigger broker. You can get a flat fee of commission with no fees. Usually when you do something like an Interactive Brokers, they have two types of accounts, and most of them do have two types of accounts now, where there's one that's built more for frequency trading that gives you like a per share commission versus a flat fee for no matter how many shares you take. So if you're going to be somebody who's doing a lot of day trading, you're going to focus in on per share commissions. I think that will benefit you a lot more, which I think is Interactive Brokers. And if you're going to do something maybe like swing trading or take a few trades a month, you want to go with a flat fee to where you won't have to, if you're going to do 10,000 shares or something like that, it won't cost you a lot of money. Now, the brokers like that you hear a lot about, E-Trade, Ameritrade, the advantages to them is they don't charge you any fees for parking money in most cases. So if you don't trade at all, that money just sits there, doesn't accumulate any sort of fees, whereas, it's not that case with Interactive Brokers. So if you're going to be like not active at all, I would go with something like that. However, the commissions are very expensive over there. Retail side it's expensive, and day traders would know that at $8-10 in and out, that's going to kill you as far as it. So I would say this. Interactive Brokers would be the best retail broker, I think, for right now for most traders. If there's a downfall to them, it would be their charting platform. It's not as fancy as something you would see with the E-Trade or Ameritrade. It's not as fancy, but you'll get used to it, and that's the best way to go, I think. Interactive Brokers would be my choice, unless you're going to do something with a prop firm. So we'll wrap it up there. I think it was a pretty good one. I got off a lot of rant. What's the worst thing you can do? I think you guys know what steps you need to take to get yourself to another level. Brokers. What kind of brokers do we use? All kinds of good stuff. I think I forgot number 2. It's been a long day. And if you wanted to, I never said what was in the glass. It's a little bit of Chivas Regal. I think I did a review on this thing like, I don't know, a year ago. I'm still working on it, so that shows you I'm a patient man. I'm a patient man. Anyway, if you need help with your trading, you know where to go. Come visit us at thelincolnlist.com. If you have questions, you know where to send them. As always, thanks for watching this video. Until the next happy hour, I say cheers to you and take care.